Hello, where can you find example charts for learning watch list building? Well, I would say just keep analyzing stocks, any stocks that you know of. You just keep analyzing them because each one of them has a unique chart to it, and they will just give you the different type of example chart, and by looking at them and analyzing different one, once you spot some chart layout that you like, it's easy for you to read. You can use that as the benchmark to compare the others that you are analyzing to it. That way you want to select stocks that are similar, have similar chart pattern for your watch list. That's the way to do it, or that is one of the ways you can do it. So we are going to analyze some stocks together to see if they are good for us to add to our watch list. So the first one is CDNS, and we are using maximum monthly chart, and you have the date on the x-axis from the past to the present, and the price on the y-axis from $0 and up. So CDNS, what we consider a good chart for a stock to swing trade, for a stock that you can swing trade, is first find stocks, growth stocks to swing trade, and those growth stocks should have higher lows at the bottom of the chart and higher highs at the top of the chart. I like to call them valley and mountain. So you will trace some support line passing by the valley of the chart, and you want that to be passing by the obvious V bottom that you can see going from the past to the present, and then look at the mountain top to see if it's getting taller and taller and taller as you are going from the past to the present. And in this case, it is yes on both cases. So therefore, yes for this one to make it to 2026 watch list. And did you see the growth in this? So that is a stock, an example of a chart you can use and compare the others to it as well. But keep in mind that now every stock will have, they all are not going to have the same type of chart. They all are going to be unique, but you see the pattern, the growth here. So now that we have those three valley lines, you want to decide which one you are comfortable buying it at. And I'm going to pick those two. If you pull back to here, I might buy some. If you pull back to here, I might buy some. So therefore, we are going to color those so that we know that those are the lines that we pick to buy at. And as we are doing analysis on maximum daily chart, we'll be comparing where the price is to where we want to buy. So this is a yes for 2026 watch list. The next one is ROP. So ROP, we are going to trace some lines here. Clearly, I can see higher lows without even tracing those, because higher lows just mean the valley is getting higher and higher, and the higher highs just mean the mountain is getting taller and taller. You can start from here. And it's going to go here. So we can see the mountain is getting taller and taller and taller. So yes for this one as well. And it reached all-time high this year. So where are we going to buy? I think this is not enough that I will use this one. But if it happens to come down to this, well, it could be a buying point as well. I just don't think it's going to come that low. It has been following this pattern for more than 6 years already. So, and right now is right there at this valley line. So during the week, if you like this stock, during the week, it could be an opportunity to just buy one share of it. And it has been wandering around here for a while. Personally, if I will buy it there. Without, again, that is going into 2026. My rule is, if it come down to the valley line, I'll just buy it and give about 3 months to wander around there before, or expect 3 months for that to wander around there, going lower before it start going up. So a buying point. And let's see, in fact, it has been here for 2 months now. So if you don't have money to buy it yet, don't fret about it. You can save money because it could stay there for a while before start going up, apparently. So Europe, let's go back to maximum monthly chart. So yes, to add it to 2026 watch list. And in addition to that is one we are going to add, we are going to flag to buy now as well. So the next one is ADSK. Let's trade some lines. I never traded before. So we are going to touch base with those. And okay, so we have higher lows at the valley and we have higher highs at the peak. Last time it reached all-time high though was around the pandemic. So it pulled back, lingered there for a while and start going up again. It has not reached it yet, but it is on its way. So let's see here. Last time it touched base with this 1, 2, 3. Okay, it came back before start going. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so yes, it has higher highs at the peak. Right now it's trying to exceed this all-time high. It could get there, and once it breaches it should be able to duplicate it again. So where will we want to buy? It's going to be at this valley line. So therefore we can color code it and yes to add it to 2026 watch list. The next one is FICO. Okay, FICO, we have some lines that we chose already. We are going to keep it just like that. We have this one that is quite steep, and we have this one as well, and we feel like if we pull back there is a chance it might come back to this one. There is highly that it might come back to this one. This is just too steep for it to continue claiming it. So although we made a purchase somewhere here, so we are going to keep observing it. Those are the 2 lines that we trace, but it is a risk buying it at this valley line because at some point it might come down here. But we will see what it's going to do. We purchased it there and it was done with this support line and pull back, cross this valley line and start going up. We purchase it again. So we are just going to keep observing it to see if it's going to continue up from there or if it's going to decide to come down to this valley line and start going up from here instead. but again, it's not going anywhere. So yes, to add it to 2026 watch list. The next one is ANSS. So ANSS, we are going to trace some lines here. Seems to me that it's following this, and this is quite long as well, and it just touched base with it. It touched base with it here, but didn't reach any all-time high here and came back. I have this qualified stocks on based on that before, like when I start analyzing stocks for 2026, but maybe I was too hard on them, or some of them could have been a yes. And the reason why I'm saying that, even though it touched base with it, with this value line again, without reaching an all-time high yet, the price when it touched base with it was here was lower than the price when it touched base with it here. So, and interestingly, it is touching base with the value line for more than a year now. Like, that is something I used to disqualify, because if because we like to buy at the value line and sell it at the peak, so it left the value line and pulled back close to it again, pretty much came back to the value line a year later, but at a higher price. That's something to consider, not just because it came back to the value line without reaching all-time high after a year. That was enough for me to disqualify one. But the thing is, it came back to it at a higher level compared to here. And another year, 2 years, it came back again without reaching a new high, but again at a higher level. So that's something to consider, and is on its way. So if this is a pattern for this stock, I have not seen that pattern here though. So I don't know if this growth here was just unusual related to the pandemic that is taking time to breach that level. But hopefully once it breaches it, it should be able to reduplicate it. It's quite close to it now. So it will reach it, and from there, maybe it will be able to, duplicate it. So do we have higher highs at the mountain? Yes. Having a new high few years in the past, now like some years in the past, is a disqualifying criteria for me in the previous 2 years that I picked stocks for my watch list. But this time I'm going to say yes, because again, putting it in context, it could have a kind of growth here during the pandemic that was unusual, that is having problem breaching, but it's getting close to it, that once it breaches, should be able to break through that resistance and should be able to have a better pattern from there. But still, we can see the value line is getting higher and higher, and yes, based on the past, it tends to have higher highs, and based on those circumstances, that I will say yes, it can be added to the watch list, and to buy it is going to be at this value line. The next one is TYL. So TYL, we have this line we like to buy at, and right now it seems to be going down to it, but it's not there yet, and we have higher lows that line is passing by, and we have higher highs at the mountain top. The mountain is getting taller and taller, and it reached all-time new high this year, and that is something in the past I have used. This year or last year, the new high has to be within those 2 years for that to make it. The fact that the previous stock we just analyzed, the all-time high was way in the past, was a no-no. But this time going to 2026, I'm saying yes to it. So you'll notice that there are some criteria I used to disqualify some stock, and some other stock present a similar situation. I'm saying yes to it. So you'll find yourself doing those, being more flexible at some point and being more rigid at some other point. So if it's worth it, reanalyze those stocks again to see the one you say no to, if you have changed it to a yes. We have 300 stocks or so to analyze, and we are going through them, so the way you're analyzing them, as you are seeing different pattern coming, you are going to use some as a benchmark or an example to review others as well and make decisions based on that. So TYL is a yes to add it to 2026 watch list, and this is going to be the value line to buy at. Another one is MANH. So MANH, we have those value lines that we trace, and yes, we have higher highs at the valley, no, higher lows at the valley, and right now is right there. There is a narrow there, so we purchased it there. It went up and pulled back. So let's take a look at the mountain. Yes, the mountain is getting taller and taller, and this year or close to the end of last year, it reached all-time new high. So yes to add this 2026 watch list. Moreover, is right there where we want to buy. So therefore, you can pick some share or one while you add it if you're interested in. Touch base with it and start going up from there. So we purchased it somewhere here, and you can see that even though it came back, and we purchased it in March, and in November it touched base with it again. So how many months is that? So we purchased it right there for around 166, is at 179. So we could well have about $10 profit or so in this purchase so far, as it pulled back to the value line and start going up from there. And of course, we lost this profit. We are now swing trading using short option on swing trading strategy. So we are going to buy it at the valley and wait to sell it at the peak. And when it lifts this value line, it could be on this journey for 2 years. So buying it somewhere here, we are in it for about 2 years. So we are not going to sell it just yet. So yes, for this one to be in 2026 watch list, and yes, if you're interested in this, to pick a share for your portfolio. So those are the 7 that we want to analyze today. Yesterday I analyzed 7 others, but my audio didn't come through, and I'm not sure why the mic that I used didn't work. So therefore, I'm doing the recording without the mic this time, because the mic is working just fine, but for some reason the USB that I'm using to plug it in, sometimes the audio won't go through, and I prefer to have a video with not so perfect audio than to have a video with a good mic and wondering if my audio will be there or not. I test the mic before I will record a video, a short video, and listen to it to see if the mic is working, if I have the setting well before I start. And I did that yesterday, and maybe the USB as I plug it in was not well in. I'm not entirely sure, but it's not the first time it happened, and this time I prefer to just record without the mic, because the laptop mic is just fine. Not perfect, but it's fine. Again, I'm not a perfectionist. I prefer the work done to meet my goal of recording daily than and not be able to meet that demand because I want my audio to be perfect. So yesterday, 2 videos, I deleted them and I published 2 other videos that I have in the queue instead. So we are going to review those 2 this set that I did yesterday quickly if you're interested in any one of them. So KLAC, we pick those 2 to be where we want to buy, because again you can see we are having higher lows at the valley and taller mountain at the peak. So therefore it is a yes to add it to 2026 watch list. The next one is ENTG. So ENTG, okay, we have higher lows, and let's see, we have higher highs, and again we have 2020, the one that we're noticing here, and it came close but was not able to reach it, pull back and start going up from there. So if you are interested in buying some, you could buy some, and I think it's getting close. You'll be able to breach it, and once it breaches it, it should be able to continue higher up from there. So it came back down to the valley line. My concern is that it did that in 3 years, but the good news is it touched base with it at a higher point. So therefore I'm inclined to say yes to this, but let's see what I put there. I put short-term investment, so it is a yes, and the reason why I put short-term investment is because it can take some years. When it touches base with this support line here, it can climb it for 2 years, and you can see that it is doing it for 2 years now. It has not reached that peak yet, so it's not something you are going to buy and expect to sell it the same year. So yes, for 2026 watch list, but it's going to be something you are not going to buy and sell the same year, and it is right there where you will want to buy, and I think we must have added here for buying. So the next one is TER. So TER, we have those valley line. We are having higher lows at the valley, and let's see the top here. We are having higher highs at the top, and when we look here, when it pull back, two years later it pull back again without breaching it here. Let's see, is at a lower price here than here. So, and then from here it was able to breach it here. So I'm going to say yes for this. Did you see? Even though yesterday I said no to it, because it reached this high here and was not able to duplicate it until this year. But again, this high could be due to the pandemic, so make it a little bit unusual, and it try for some years before it was able to breach it this year. But each time it came back down, yeah, brush your teeth. It came back down higher than the previous price. Is it? You see this one here? It came even lower. So if you purchase it here, 3 years later, you could well be negative. And I think that was the reason why I said no to it. That would be the reason why I would say no to it, because even if it's going to come down to the value line, it should now come down to the value line at a price lower than what you'll have paid for it at any point on this value line. So, but again, it could just well be the related to trying to breach the previous peak. But the problem is it has a similar scenario here. For some reason, 2000, when it reached that higher peak, it took multiple decades. It was not able to duplicate it. It took multiple decades before it was able to exceed it. So I think I'm going to keep a no for it. But does not mean it's a bad stocks. You can give it a chance and try to add it to your watch list. I just feel like there is those scenarios. But at least this time though, it was able to breach it. It took it some years, but it was able to breach it. Again, we have a lot of stock on our watch list, so therefore I'm going to say no to this one. And I think I'm not even going to put a no there. I'm just going to leave it blank because it's not really, it's not downward or anything. ADBE is just a personal choice there. So let's take a look at ADBE here. I put no there for it as well because we have a lot of crisscross lights here. So we have higher lows at the valley, but they were not following an uptrend that we can see. Maybe an horizontal one perhaps, and that would be something like this, passing by this resistance and going that out. Again, we are trying to swing through using long uptrend swing trading strategy. There is a growth here during the pandemic that is trying to exceed but has not gone there yet, and cool. So it pulled back and we'll start going up from there, and hopefully it will be able to breach this one. And the price here at this valley line here is lower than this one here. So again, if you want to buy some, you can, but I just feel like it went higher but was not able to breach it yet, and I would prefer to wait it breach that gap and we can start talking. And I don't really see a very good uptrending valley line. So that, unless you wanted to use a different type of things, but this is just, I just don't like the look of it from here. I would prefer if it comes from this way. Excuse me. So, and when I trace it from here, it passed by here, and this was a little bit lower. So you could use this as the valley line and having a support line like this supporting the upside wall of the mountain, but this could be a valley line. Excuse me. But right now it's a little bit below it, and my go. So, and for that reason I said no to it. It just does not have a clear valley line just yet, and it still has way to go to breach this higher peak, and I think it will, just not there yet. So if you like it, you can buy some share and just have it in the portfolio and keep an eye on it. I don't think it's going anywhere. I just feel like it's struggling to breach this gap, but it's going to get there. So for that reason, I put note to it, and I think I'm just going to take that note out of there and just leave it blank. The next one is CRM. CRM, we pick this line to be where we want to buy. It's passing by higher lows at the valley, and as we look at the top of the mountain, it's getting taller and taller. So yes, for this one to be added to 2026 watch list. Another one is INTU. So INTU, you can see, it has a growth here during the pandemic, but it was trying and was able to breach it this year. And we can see that the valley line is following this uptrend line at the valley, and that's something we are not able to see with Adobe. So, and yes, and technically right now is getting back to that valley line, so that'll be something to keep an eye on and buy some. So it has higher lows at the valley and higher mountain at the top as well. So yes, for 2026 watch list. And the next one is SNPS. So SNPS, we have higher lows at the valley, and we pick those two to be where we want to buy, and we have higher highs at the top of the mountain as well. So yes, to add it to 2026 watch list, and right now is right at the valley line there, and you might pick some share if you are interested in it. So this conclude an example of charts that you can use to learn watch list building, and we found some good ones. The one we analyzed today, only 14 of them, only 2 didn't make the cut, not because they are bad stocks, just because we want to wait another year to analyze them again to see if they will show us a better pattern. But if you like them, you can buy a share when they are close to the value line. I think Adobe is there, and just put it in your portfolio and keep an eye on them. So they are good stocks. They will come around at some point, and you can learn from the process as well, from the experience. So thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you for all your comments, and thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and NYSE.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. Just start small and grow your account from there. We have a small group online workshop where you can practice analyzing stocks to see if a stock is well positioned for you to purchase. If you're interested, will you please check it out on our website, liberdownload.com. Thank you for your time. And for more tips on how you can create your own watch list, will you please check the playlist in the description of this video. Thank you.